Hey, what's cracking everybody? Welcome back to Computer Games Hardware. Today on the channel, we are looking at all the leaks and rumors for the Nintendo Switch 2. So buckle in, there's plenty to get through, and I gotta say, I reckon Nintendo are playing it pretty safe for this one. But is that a good or a bad thing? Let's get into it.
It's called Mario Twins. They look the same.
Today we're going to look at the full spec list. There's some leaks and rumors that have been swirling over the past few days, which is absolutely crazy to me because, this thing has not even officially been announced yet. So things have reached fever pitch, and it's a little bit of Nintendo's fault because, it's been many years. It's been in the rumor mill. Everyone's been expecting it over the last, I want to say 3 to 4 years. We've been expecting a successor to the Nintendo Switch, and there's been a lot of expectations. Now, what I think has happened is that Nintendo have started pre-production of the Nintendo Switch successor. Let's call it the Switch 2 because who knows? It hasn't been officially announced yet. So, when you get to this stage, I guess there are, people, suppliers, external stakeholders that, aren't privy to NDAs and things that come across things and leak them out into the internet. So, I have been expecting an announcement from Nintendo. They haven't done it. It's been a couple of years. We got, in the middle of the year, we got, it got acknowledged that it will be announced. But the thing is, Nintendo came out and said that it will be announced sometime within the next financial year. The financial year ends in March 2025. So if you're expecting a Nintendo Switch 2 before Christmas 2024, unfortunately that ain't gonna happen.
Just like that.
However, there is plenty to talk about. We've got a full spec list. We've got some suggestions of what the APU might be or the SoC. There is some rumors about the memory speed and stuff like that. So let's get into it. Now, usually I wouldn't delve into leaks and rumors too much here on Computer Games Hardware, but it's been 4 years that we've been, expecting an announcement for the Nintendo Switch 2. So at this point, I think it's pretty fair game. We're also going to take a look at another YouTuber's video who built a 3D printed sort of spec Nintendo Switch 2.
这是 Nintendo Switch 2的1:1真机模型，是我根据泄露出来的模型自己 3D 打印的。
To give you a visualization of the difference, and it really helped me in doing this research because I was a bit skeptical about the some of the specs lists, the sizes and things like that, but seeing it visualized really helped me out, so I think that might help you guys out too. So we'll get into that a little bit later, but let's talk about some of the stuff we do know. First up is the rumors about the SoC or the APU that's running in the Nintendo Switch 2, which is said to be an NVIDIA Tegra T239. Now, this new chip is rumored to have 1536 CUDA cores, which is not an insignificant number because it's the same amount of CUDA cores that if you're old like me, you'll remember the 1660 Ti had the same sort of graphical power. So that would suggest a 1080p gaming system, I'm assuming. But we also may be getting a little bit more than that because upscaling is set to feature heavily in the Nintendo Switch successor. So the Switch 2 is said to have some sort of upscaling method, DLSS being NVIDIA or a, Nintendo sort of version of that, much like PlayStation has its new PSSR, which is based on FSR. So it might be a Nintendo homebrew type of DLSS version that we're getting that may be able to upscale things to 1440p, 4K, who knows. It's yet to be known whether the upscaling method will be in the hardware itself, whether it be part of the docking system, things like that. Lots of speculation against that. Who knows? But it's a really interesting concept. Hey, just want to jump in here and say, if you're enjoying any of the content on computer games hardware, please chuck us a like, share, and subscribe. And I'm asking for a huge favor, guys. Watching the videos really helps me out. Also, another big one, I have been really neglectful of our other socials. So you can find Computer Games Hardware on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok and on Threads. I've been terrible with posting on our other social medias. So if you can, it'd really help me out if you could join us on all our other socials, and I will commit to posting more short form content. You guys know me, Dan, I like to ramble along in these long form videos, but I'm trying to be a little bit more concise and cut things down. So you'll probably be able to find some more of our content on all of our socials. So check those out. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate you all. All right, so next up, the memory has set to be upgraded to 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X, which I'm assuming is 2 modules of 6. The memory transfer rate is also said to be 48 gigabits a second. So that is pretty quick. I'm assuming that means that there is some memory efficiencies to be had in the new memory modules. So that will probably go a long way to keeping it nice and fast and keeping the heat dissipation way down. So that's pretty good to see. I'm wondering at 12 gigabytes, my first thought is that's fine. I was actually worried that they were only going to provide 8 gigabytes, which, would have certainly not been enough even for if it was to come out today. 12 gigabytes seems okay. I'm wondering if the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have the lifespan that the Nintendo Switch had. Is 12 gigabytes going to be enough, this time 10 years? So I don't think so. Maybe upscaling and stuff like that will go a long way, but it seems like there's going to be a point where we're going to be having that conversation. Does it have enough memory? Can it keep up at some point in time? I don't think that's for the foreseeable future. I reckon if Nintendo were keeping to traditional console generations, we wouldn't have a problem. But for whatever reason, I'm seeing this to be another, 10, 12-year console. So we will see. It's going to be interesting to see. I think it's enough for now. I wouldn't be too upset about it. I think that they've probably listened and bowed to a bit of pressure, because that's pretty high end for a little handheld market. But I think that will make it I think it will make it compete with the I think Lenovo's, I don't know what it's called, the Lenovo's pretty slick looking handheld has the same sort of memory capacity. I'm not sure who the manufacturer is, but it might be the same module. So they're probably taking a leaf out of some of those Windows handhelds, and they want to be able to keep up for the foreseeable future anyway. Okay, so in terms of storage, the good news is it's getting a pretty big upgrade over the Nintendo Switch, but I don't think it's getting a big enough upgrade for my personal taste. So the Nintendo Switch 2 is said to have 256 gigabytes of internal storage. This is universal flash storage manufactured by Kioxia. So, bit of an upgrade, but, probably not what I was expecting. Now, one thing that is pretty interesting, we're getting a bigger display. It's an 8-inch display, but it's an LCD display. So it's not an OLED screen like the latest iteration of the Nintendo Switch OLED. It is an LCD screen. So this is probably to save on power, save on battery life and things like that. I don't think it's attempt to create an upgrade path. It definitely does do that. There's certainly going to be a revision where we're going to get a nicer screen and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I thought that they would have had the power savings and stuff like that to make the OLED screen look nice and crisp and gorgeous. They should have probably, introduced an OLED screen first up. That would be a big upgrade. But who knows? That might not be the handheldness of this console might not be its bigger feature. I think they might be introducing 1080p or 4K gaming to the big screen, which will be the feature. It also looks like the Switch 2 has some extra ports. So there's a USB-C on the bottom, a USB-C on top as well, which is a pretty good move. It means it's going to be compatible with a whole range of docks and things. So I'll be able to use my cool little dock and dock it in the front so it can be played anywhere, which is really good to see. It also has audio in and out ports. It's got volume control buttons and all those sort of things. So look, in terms of its looks, imagine it being a bigger, more sophisticated Nintendo Switch. One of the things that I'm really excited to see is the rumors of magnetic Joy-Cons, which means that they're not going to slide in, they're going to sort of snap on. So, who knows? This might be a Nintendo Snap instead of a Switch. I don't know. But one thing that's going to be really important is how it feels in the hand. So, if they're using magnets on the Nintendo Switch, they're going to want to make it feel nice and firm in the hand, because I can hold the Nintendo by the Joy-Con, but it doesn't feel great. So I hope that they have fixed that. Now, I've been very fortunate. I haven't had any issues with my Joy-Cons. I've got these and a couple of other ones, and they've stayed really thin. But if you hold it like that, and kids and stuff are prone to do that, it feels really flimsy. You want to have a good grip on it. So I'm hoping that they've used strong enough magnets to solve that problem, because when you play the wobble within the Switch, I actually don't like playing handhold all that much unless I'm watching TV or just using it as a distraction, because you can feel a little bit of the wobble in the thing, and this hasn't been punished too excessively. This is in really good nick. So I'm hoping they've solved that, and you've got a firm grip where you can hold it securely just with one hand by doing that, because I think touch features are also going to be prominent in the new screen. With an 8-inch display, it's going to be a quite a different experience from this little bad boy. So interested to see how that's going to look. It's got a built-in microphone this time around, so voice commands and things like that will be able to spy on you in all different types of ways. The Switch 2 is also said to have dual cooling fan designs, so things should be nice and cool under the hood for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm hoping that its bigger size will also allow for better heat dissipation. We will see. Now, having said that, there were no issues with the Nintendo Switch. However, performance wasn't its selling feature. I don't know if Nintendo want me to say this, but probably the potential for upping the fan speeds, a bit of modding. So my suspicion is that the modding community is going to hotly anticipate this piece of hardware. All right, and last but not least, the one thing that I'm looking forward to the most is the Gigabit Ethernet. So this is said to have a Gigabit Ethernet port, which is a huge upgrade over the previous Nintendo Switch dock, which is really good for me. Now, you can argue and take the cynical approach that, well, Gigabit Ethernet is just the standard. It's probably just as cheap as any other networking port at the moment. I want to be hopeful and say this opens up the Nintendo Switch 2 to being a more multiplayer gaming console, because that's the one thing with the portability that the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo in general has lost a little bit. Anyway, what do you guys think? I'm itching for an announcement from Nintendo. There's plenty of leaks and rumors, and I think Nintendo have really done themselves a disservice by not announcing this thing a little bit earlier and getting ahead of all these things. We've got leaks and videos, and I'm contributing to it as well because people are hungry to find out more. I think they've dragged on the Switch generation just a little bit too much, a little bit too long. So what do you guys think? I am certainly excited for a successor to the Nintendo Switch 2. I do have to say, though, I am a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a surprise new novel console iteration from Nintendo. I was kind of hoping that maybe Nintendo were going to pull one over our eyes and bring out a whole different concept, a new cube, a new triangle, or something with a crazy new controller, but that doesn't look like it is set to be. So they're playing it pretty safe with this one, and I think that that's what most people want. Are you looking forward to the Nintendo Switch 2? Certainly with the features, with the design, it would suggest that it's also backwards compatible and your whole gaming library is coming with you to the Nintendo Switch 2. So that is fantastic. I'm wondering though if dual USB-C connections means that there is adaptability, that the dock might bring something that we're not expecting. I'm hoping that's the case because we've heard a lot about the handheld but not much about the dock and things like that. So maybe Nintendo might prove us all wrong, and I'm hoping that that's the case because there's a lot of focus on the leaks and rumors of this handheld, but there is a whole nother subset to that, and that is the docking system. So hopefully we get something that really blows us away. Nintendo, if you're watching this, let's go, baby. Give us an announcement. Give us something. We've been running on fumes for far too long. I think you've done yourself a huge disservice by letting it sort of get to this point. Give us something good, baby. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've had a really good time making this one. I hope you've had a good time watching it. Are you in for a Nintendo Switch 2? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.